Izzy at Minerva. Today we're finishing off our trouser fitting series, and we're going to finish off with looking at two different aspects to do with our legs and how the trouser fits on the actual stretch of the leg rather than on the kind of hips and waist area. So today we're going to be looking at how to alter the trousers if you have a knock-kneed fitting alteration or a bow-legged fitting alteration. So as you can see in the images next to me, if the fit alteration that you need is a knock-kneed fit, what you'll be seeing is that the knees are coming in together and then the legs continue straight down. What that does is it makes the tension where the knees are and the inseam a little bit, we need to add some extra fabric there effectively, and then what we're doing is we're getting wrinkles towards the side of the knee, towards the side of the side seam at the knee point, as you can see in the image next to you. And these drag lines are going to be sort of above and below the knee line, so radiating out from the knee at that point. So as you can see, obviously the knee is pushing the fabric in towards the inseam, and the effect is that then the pull of the fabric towards the knee means that we've got excess on that side. So very simply, all we need to do is just add a little bit of extra volume down in the inner side seam. So we'll go through that change first, but while we're here talking about the other alteration, the bow-legged alteration is actually the opposite of that. So it's where the knees are tilting slightly further out towards the side seam, and effectively then what we need to do is to add volume to the side seam rather than the inner seam in order to compensate for the fit of the trousers around the knees at that point. Now for both the knock-kneed and the bow-legged change alteration, you're going to need to do this first step that I'm about to show you. So let's look at the knock-kneed impact on the trouser leg to start off with. Okay, to start off with, I'm just going to draw a line on our front trouser block that is 4 centimetres offset from the crotch line. What I want to do now is sort of find the centre of the trousers. So in order to do that, I know that at this point here, the offset is the same from the centre. So find the centre of the knee line and then just square up to your new line just underneath the crotch line up at the top. Now at this point, we're just going to cut along that line to that point and cut from there to that point, and we are going to leave a pivot point at the middle. Okay, so for our knock-kneed impact, the knees are coming in towards the side seam a little bit more. They're not sitting right down the centre front. The knees are tilted slightly in towards the inseam. So we need to create more volume here, and we need to take it out of this side. So what we can do is just pick up the top of the trousers and rotate it at this pivot point at the centre line of the trousers. Now, depending on how big an impact you need to make and how close those knees are to the centre seam rather than to the centre, that will affect the amount of volume that you want to put into your trousers. It's always helpful to make a note of how much you are increasing that distance by. So for me, I'm just going to assume we want to increase the amount of volume by 2 centimetres. So that looks good to me. And so what we've done is we've added volume in there, but we've also reduced the volume on this side. So it's had quite a big effect on both sides of the trouser leg, which is why you really only need to do little marginal changes as you make these changes, because what you've done to the front, you've then taken off the back, so the impact is significant on both sides of the trouser leg. So we then need to draw in our new shape around here. And basically we just want to find that soft curve again and just curve that gently back down to the knee again. So we don't want a massive alteration here. We don't want to be extending this out because we're happy with the fit there. You continue just to keep the centre front line exactly as it is. No alteration at that point. Draw in that top waistline and dart as is. And then basically we just want to kind of soften this curve off somehow so that it isn't such an acute angle. So just use your pattern drafting ruler to find something that kind of works nicely. And then just draw in the rest of the side seam. Okay, and then from that point down, obviously it's just the same as the standard block. But now we've got the top bit redrafted. That's going to be the change that we need for the knock-kneed effect. Great. Now that I've shown you how to do that, let's move on and look at the opposite, which is the bow-legged effect. Okay, so for the bow-legged, again, I'll go back to what we'd done before, where we drew that center line from the knee right up, and then we use that as a pivot point to rotate the amount of volume to the front of the leg. So with the bow-leg effect, instead of our knee being right in the middle of the block here, it's just shifted slightly towards the side seam. And what this means is the fabric is sort of pulling and having a bit more tension along the outer seam here, the outer side seam. And we've got too much fabric in here. And as you can see in the image next to me, the effect of that is that we've got pooling of fabric in this area, and we've got tension of fabric at the side seam. So what we need to do is to add fabric into the side seam and remove it from the inner leg seam. So up here, all we want to do is very simply just rotate it out down towards the inner seam and open it out at the side seam, just like this. For the sake of consistency, let's say that we've done this by 2 centimeters so that you can see the increase in a bit more of a dramatic way. Again, don't forget, if you're at home, just use small incremental changes. You don't want to overcompensate for any changes that you need. Okay, so again for this one, we just want to find a nice soft curve that continues. That's very easy actually with this one, that just continues around that additional curve that we've just created. So draw in your new side seam. And then on the inner seam over here, again, we just want to find a soft curve, making sure we're not compromising the crotch curve line here, but just softening that alteration that we've have over in that location. Just continue that curve all the way down, following the existing block. Obviously your waistline hasn't altered, so that remains the same for the block, but it has kind of shifted and rotated, hasn't it? So it has moved in comparison to the original block, but the proportions of it have stayed the same. And again, you just want to redraw in your crotch line here. And again, that is all you need to do. So it's a small alteration, a really straightforward and simple alteration to do. But obviously the amount that you change and the amount of volume you give to one side and remove from the other will have a really big impact on your trouser block. So give that a go, see how you get along. Don't forget to do incremental changes as you are refining the fit of your trouser block. As always, if you've got any comments, please feel free to leave them below the video. We always love to hear from our maker community here at Minerva. And don't forget that you can join our Minerva maker community on our website by creating a free account. And with this account, you can upload your own photos, your own projects, you can comment on other people's, you can see the various types of fabric people have used for patterns. It's a fantastic resource for the maker community. So please do create a free account on our website and just join in the conversation there too. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you next week.